one day, one American guy came to my dojo. He was maybe 26 years old, around, young guy. But before training day, his father called me. And my son, tomorrow, my son goes to going to go your dojo. But my son is that there's a mental problem. Is it possible for you? And I said, of course, okay. And he came to the dojo. Next day, he came to the dojo. And he have a little bit of mental problem because he cannot communicate others. But his knowledge is so many about the Bruce Lee and about the knights, about the samurai technique, about the Shaolin technique and boxing or something. Very, very knowledge and just talking anytime, talking, and many kind of knowledge. And we cannot communicate. But I started the samurai technique, okay? And there is a samurai technique that making a sympathize. It's a 400 years ago. It's a very traditional samurai technique. It's a first is that okay? Shake hands each other, okay? And making an image, you are connecting feeling. It's like a chi. Chi is connecting. And go making a long distance. And the next is that with a sword is a connecting. And keep connecting feeling and cut to each other like this. Okay, like this. Very simple exercise. Okay. Suddenly he stops the talking and he looks my eyes.
Zen Sensei, thank you very much. It is an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much, Doctor. I'm so appreciated. Thank you very much.
So for those of you who do not know, this is my sensei, my Bushido sensei. You are how long have you been studying Bushido?
Because I was born in samurai family and 60th generation samurai family. Okay? My first memory is that around 3 years old, I saw a real Japanese sword in my father's room. Okay? That's why I am starting samurai training very young, when I'm a childhood. That's why I am a long time training.
Do you know what it was that like drove you to study Bushido? Like why do you study? Why do you train?
Okay, and because it's a very natural thing for me, very natural. Because my father is always swinging the sword, and every day I saw a real sword. Okay, I saw a real sword. Okay, and my house is that so many kind of Bushido books, samurai history book. Okay, yeah, that's why very naturally get the information, very naturally. Yes, that's why. How can I say? And one more thing is that when I was very childhood, okay, it's one of a ritual initiation or in my family, ritual initiation. It's a initiation is that when I was very childhood, okay, and this is my brothers is also, brother and sister is also do the same thing. This thing is that very childhood, okay, and front of the 2 meter around or put on the some one of the lady doll. And next is it's like a dictionary, and one more is a sword, and one more is forget something. Okay, and baby is that naturally go out and grip something. Okay, and it's a similar like a future. It's a similar like a future. Yeah, and how can I say? And a little bit difficult in English, but I chose a sword. Very very childhood. Okay. And walking, and the baby are like walking and grip the sword. Okay, that's why I know maybe my parents and decided teaching Bushido for me. Yeah.
Wow. For people who have never encountered Bushido and don't know what is Bushido?
Yeah, it's a very important question because Bushido's important point is that there is no Bible. We have no Bible. Because Bushido is that each generation different way of thinking. For example, in the Civil War generation, is that Bushido is that just win. It's like a fighting spirit. Okay? It's a Civil War generation. And after the Civil War generation, it's a Edo period. Edo generation is that very peaceful generation. That's why Edo generation Bushido is that how to keep peace and how to use education. for the kids. Okay, and it seems like this. Each generation different way of thinking. The Bushido is always developed. That's why. How can I say Bushido is there's no answer, okay? But it's a samurai spirit. It's a how can I say it's similar like a sky element. It's like emptiness.
Wow. Wow. What are some common misconceptions about samurai that people might have?
Oh, sorry, once again.
What are some common misconceptions people have about samurai? Like, what
okay.
are people wrong? What do people get wrong about samurai?
Yes, and sometimes in the comics and the movie and the samurai always fighting and shouting and kill so many enemies. Okay, but one of the samurai history is that ancient time samurai was a very high class people. Or some samurai people was politicians or teachers. They were leader of the society. That's why their most important point is that keep balance, keep peace. Okay? And sometimes in the comics there's always fighting, but fighting is that already off balance. Okay, before fight, catch the feeling. Sometimes doing a negotiation, sometimes make a long distance, sometimes make a good relationship, and how to avoid the fight. Okay? This is a very important point of Bushido way of thinking. Okay, samurai way of thinking. Okay? This is a balance is most important, not to fight. Okay?
All right. Can we talk about Star Wars for a little bit?
Yes, sure.
So when did you first see Star Wars? And which was the first movie that you saw?
Maybe it's a first one. It's Star Wars first. It's maybe 10 years old around. 10 years old.
You were 10 years old. Okay. And that was episode 4,
yes, when I was
Luke, like the first one that came out.
Yes, right.
Okay. Who was your favorite character back then?
Okay, and I remember the scene is that Luke Skywalker, and he is how to control the Force. It's a very inspiration for me. And sometimes just close your eyes and control the Force. Okay, it's a very different or another movie. Because another movie is that getting a muscle and stronger and push and getting a fight and win. But it's Luke Skywalker and Force feeling is that stay calm and control your mind and keep very silent feeling and control the balance, okay, and to the fighting, okay. It's a very different feeling, and I think it's very similar to the samurai feeling. Okay, samurai feeling also seems like that. It's like a control the silent feeling, and you release your power and control the balance. Okay, this is very similar. That's why I big inspired from the Luke Skywalker.
And is he still your favorite character?
Oh, pardon me?
Is Luke Skywalker still your favorite character?
Okay, yes. And it's first time I saw the movie, it's 10 years old, okay? Mm-hmm. That's why Luke Skywalker is similar, it's a growing up step by step, okay? The story is that sometimes you don't confuse, sometimes but concentrate and try to get developed, okay? And get growing up. But now is that I'm 46 years old and any kind of experience, I got any kind of experience. That's why sometimes it's a Darth Maul is also Darth Vader is also it's a very good character. Yes, it's a very interesting thing because getting a growing up and many kind of experience and different eyesight. Of course, still now I love Luke Skywalker. But in this situation, the Darth Maul and Darth Vader is also. But anyway, whole character, I love it. The Star Wars.
So then, what color would your lightsaber be?
Okay, it's a white.
A white blade. Why white?
Yes, because samurai is that white is a very important color for samurai people. Okay? It's a samurai people. It's a white. It's like a empty. It's like a pure. It's like a zero, number zero. Okay, and sometimes they go the fighting and samurai go the fighting, and the inner wear is that always just white, and one more. Or sometimes samurai doing harakiri. Harakiri is a seppuku harakiri. Harakiri is also decided that death was something is that the very important point. Okay, always inner ways are just white. It's described about the pure or zero or empty. Yeah, that's why samurai concept is a white. I love white.
Okay. All right. So we talked about Darth Maul briefly, but I wanted to just touch on what are some samurai influences in Star Wars, because there's a lot of similarities, like you said, between Jedi and samurai. That feeling of, stillness and calmness and, controlling the Force. What else in Star Wars do you see as an influence from samurai culture?
Okay, and first, my inspiration is that special feature is that Star Wars Jedi is that sword, grip the two hand like this. Two hand like this. This is samurai style, okay? And another martial arts is a knights or another martial arts, just one hand. But samurai is that just it's a two hand, using a two hand, okay? And this meaning is that, okay, one hand is that you can make a half distance like this, half distance, okay? But if you grip both hands, okay, like this, okay, you have to face to the enemy, okay? And that's why this meaning is that, okay, you have to respect to the enemy, the face to face, okay? Not half, okay? Face to face, front of the front, okay? It's respect to, meaning is a respect to the enemy. And one more, respect to the sword, okay? That's why two hand, okay? Yeah, this is very it's rare. In the another almost whole another martial arts, sword martial arts, just one hand. But samurai is very rare case. That's why I was surprised. Star Wars, two hands with the two hands. It's like a samurai style. Yes, very similar. Yes.
What about in Star Wars Episode 1, we see Qui-Gon in the middle of a duel when he's fighting Darth Maul, when the force field comes up.
Yeah.
And the two of them react very, very differently when they can't fight for a period of time, right? They can't get through the sword. So the sword can't cut through the force field. So Darth Maul, can you tell just a little bit about the difference between like Qui-Gon kneels and meditates, and then Darth Maul?
Yes.
It's just this kind of like dichotomy of the two sides of the same coin.
Yes, that's a very different feeling. The Darth Maul and Qui-Gon, very different feeling, because Darth Maul is that I felt a fire element, like an animal, the fire element. That's why Darth Maul is that moving like this, like an angry animal, like this, and seem like a fire, and moving from the chest like this. The fire is burning, okay? And the opposite, okay, Jedi is that, okay, just sitting down and control breathing and close your eyes, and try to chi goes to down and keep silent, okay? And perfectly opposite situation, okay? Because Darth Maul is that try to make a fire more and more, okay? And it's like a, sometimes, how can I say? This is very different way of thinking. I love boxing style or kickboxing or something. Okay, I love sports style martial arts, but different way of thinking. Okay, for example, boxing style is that moving from the chest like a Darth Maul. Okay, and enemy is just only one. It's like a fire element, emotional feeling, push. Okay, and it's like a fire. Okay, the burning fire is very important point. Okay, but samurai training is that always concentrate, stay calm. Okay, always calm, okay, and just catch the feeling and control the balance. Very different way of thinking. And Darth Maul is that similar, it's like a emotional style, okay, and burning, okay. But this is just from the samurai view, okay. Samurai view is that burning is that too hot. It's like a sick, okay, because human body is a burning. It's like a sick.
If you have a fever,
yes, fever. Okay, and it's a burning is that on the suddenly goes to opposite side. It's a disappear and goes to down. Okay, it's like a how can I say, for the balance, okay? Burning after, okay, your energy is going to down, okay? But samurai is that always come to the point of zero, silent feeling, okay? Yeah, that's why important point is that he close your eyes, okay? And sometimes on the human being get the information from the eyesight, okay? And around 80% or 90%. Sometimes making an off balance, okay? That's why close your eyes, catch the feeling, and it's like a meditation, seems like a meditation, okay? And control the zero balance, okay? And keep the little bit warm, okay? Not hot. Little bit warm is that it's a zero balance, okay? Not hot is that sometimes go down, energy go down, okay? Always keep warm. This is very important point. It's a samurai way of thinking.
What advice do you have for someone who wants to be more like a Jedi and maybe study, or be more like a samurai and study swordsmanship and study Bushido? Aside from following your account. Yeah. What advice do you have for people who want to study and who want to,
okay.
study the sword?
Yes. Okay. And samurai Bushido important point is that, okay? And philosophy and body operation is connecting. This is very important point. And another meaning is that mental and body is that not separate. The put together. Okay? This is very important point. Okay, and but sometimes sports style is that I love sports or just different way of thinking. Okay, sports style is just control the body. Okay, but samurai style is that how to control the, for example, how to control the mental is that if we want to control the mental, control the body operation, okay, standing position and correct position. That's why you can control the mental, okay. If we want to control the body position, and you can control the mental way of thinking and philosophy, and that's why you can correct the body position. It seems like this, okay. And the samurai and way of thinking is that the philosophy and mental and body is connecting. That's why you can make a balance. Okay, this is very big future about learning about Bushido. Okay, it's a balance, mental and physical. It's a connecting, put together. It's a balance. Okay, this is a big future about the Bushido technique, Bushido lesson.
Wow. Balance is tough. Balance is definitely difficult, but training helps. All right, so we covered your background, we covered Star Wars, we covered what lightsaber color you would be, and the influences from the samurai on the Jedi. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Because if not, I have more questions for you when you move to Tokyo. Can you talk a little bit about that when you were in your 20s?
Okay, move to Tokyo. Yes. Because I was born in Kyushu, it's a countryside. It's a south of Japan. Okay, and I felt that when I was teenage, I felt a very strong against the feeling. And sometimes samurai is that very traditional and very old style. I hate that samurai style like that. Okay, and because teenager is that doing so many curious, and doing I make a long distance from the samurai technique and a long distance from the samurai culture. I doing sometimes doing a punk rock music and singing the punk rock music and doing a band and go to the Tokyo. But I think it's a very good experience for me. Okay, because if we want to making a balance, okay, if you know about a balance, first you have to know about the off balance. That's why after that you can know about very clearly the balance. This is very important point for process. Okay, now I'm doing a master, okay, samurai master, but it was a very important process for me. Okay, because I did many kind of a thing, okay, doing another job or doing a music or something, another touching another culture. That's why I understand another feeling. Okay, that's why it's good for teaching. It's good for teaching. Okay, and this is important point thinking about the traditional. Okay, if we want to keep the traditional, don't think about just keep it, not just keep it. Okay, and Bushido is that. Okay, it's like emptiness, like a, how can I say? How to use in modern generation. This is big theme of the Bushido. How to use in modern generation. Keep traditional is that it's like a very easy, but very it's like just museum. It's like a museum. Okay. The important point is that how to use in daily life. That's why Bushido is every generation is developed, changing the meaning. Okay. Always we have to think about using the always we have to use a Bushido. This is an important point. And if we want to use a Bushido, you have to get any kind of experience. It's like sometimes making an off balance. Okay, but it is very important point. Okay, you have to know off balance. That's why you can make a balance. This is the important order. That's why you can become a master. Yes. This is important point why I go to the Tokyo. Tokyo is that make a long distance from my countryside, but naturally I go back to my countryside, okay, and became a master. It's a very natural thing. If you're making an off balance and go there making a balance like that.
Coming full circle. I like that.
Yeah.
So the Jedi had the trials where a Padawan would face the Jedi trials, and if they passed, they would become a Jedi Knight. Do the samurai have anything like that? Like, how do samurai test their skill? How does a samurai know what point they're at?
Okay, it's depend on the generation. It's a depend on the generation. Yes, because in the Civil War generation, the how to fight, okay, fighting skill, okay, and it's became a samurai. How to become a samurai, and after the Edo generation is that it's like a more control the mental. Control the mental is very important. That's why it's depend on the situation. And my master said, okay. My master decided that I became a master. Okay, the meaning is that, okay, for example, teaching a samurai technique, okay, of course, I can do a samurai movement, okay, swinging a sword or something, okay, but student is that, they cannot, of course, they are student. That's why not correctly movement, okay. Important point is that check the movement, okay, and wrong point, the count of wrong point, 1, 2, this one is wrong, and this point is wrong, and 10 point is very easily wrong point, okay. But important point is that at the same time, you have to check the good point, the 10 times. It's a balance, okay. Yeah, that's why you can become a master. This is very important point, okay. Sometimes in the sometimes strong martial arts style is that a master is a very strong style and just up to down, but it's not samurai style, okay. And because samurai answer is that no Bible, okay, we have to catch your answer. We have to catch answer inside your mind for each. That's why master and student is that similar like put together and learn together and try to get a treasure. It's like an answer, okay. Yeah, try to research the answer. Get the answer. Okay, this is very important point for become a master. Okay, not up to down. Okay, always think about with a student. Okay, and think about always balance. If you check the wrong point at the same time, good point. Think about a good point. It's a balance. That's why we can develop step by step. This is very important point. Yes, that's why in this generation, that's why I can become a master. It's a balance.
And it's through teaching that your skill improves also, because you're able to convey the information. That's wow. Okay. Wow. That's awesome. Are you ever going to stop training? Do you ever foresee like you just keep training until, you know?
Yeah, yes, keep training is a very big meaning for my life. Keep training is very big meaning because samurai technique is that point to the future is that don't use the muscle too much. Okay, always release the power and control the bone system and control your chi. Always keep silent by. That's why and normal sports style is that max is that maybe 27 years old or 30 years old. It's a max. It's a muscle style. It's a max. and getting a down, okay, and the energy is getting down. But samurai skill is that not using a muscle, okay. That's why please make an image, okay. This is not sports, but making an image. Carpenters and cookers or painters or something, getting older and older, and the techniques develop and develop, okay. Seems like that, okay. Samurai technique is also, okay. I'm 46 years old, but I can swing the sword or more than when I was 20 or 30. Step by step, every year, step by step, going to up. Okay. Normal sports is that already I was 46 years old and getting a lower. But samurai technique is the perfectly opposite. Release your power, that's why you can swing very fast. Okay. And I have a friend, and he's maybe 72 years old. Okay. His swinging is faster more than me. But he have no muscle, okay, and very looks older, okay, but very fast movement and very clean and clear movement. It's a future of the samurai technique, okay. That's why step by step you can develop until die. Okay, this is very important for continue the training, okay. And one more thing is that this is an important point for thinking about the training, okay. And Ron-san, you are learning about samurai technique now, okay? Sometimes doing homework or something, or swinging a sword, okay? Sometimes skill is developed, okay? Swing a sword very faster, feeling like a very fast and quick, okay? You feel very good, feeling like good. That's why you try to more and more, okay? Important point is that if you feel 60% satisfied, you have to stop the training, making a long distance from the sword, and you have to go to the bed and sleep, okay? And next day, gently grip the sword again and swing. This is very important point, okay? If you feel some good feeling, okay, and the skill is something that developed, okay, try to more and more, and try to 100%, 150% sometimes, okay? It's too much. Because maybe you're doing a 120%, okay, 120%. Maybe next day you stop the training, the getting tired, okay, and stop the training, okay. Always 60% and stop, and continue the next day, and continue the next day. That's why you can develop step by step, and you can connect the next day. Always a little bit hungry feeling. This is very important point for connecting. This is very difficult to feel, because swinging faster, try to more and more. Of course, this is like a desire. Okay, you wanted to get satisfied. Okay, but 60% and stop is very important. Always your skill is imperfect. It's a perfect. The perfect is imperfect. Imperfect is perfect. It's a balance. You can continue whole life. This is a samurai way of thinking.
What time do you wake up in the morning?
Around 4:30.
You wake up at 4:30 and you train every morning.
Yes, every morning. And but this is very my happiness because on 4:30 in the morning, early morning. But I sleep very early. Okay, and wake up early morning. And sometimes normal exercise is that there's a menu. But we have no menu. Okay. First, just relax and just control the breathing and just talking with your body. What do you want today? Okay, talking with your body. And today is a fighting technique. Today is a swing your sword. Okay. Always talking with the body. Okay. And decide the menu. This is very important point. Okay. And if you already decide the menu, okay, it's very dangerous. Just push and push and push. Okay. Don't listen to your body's voice. Okay, just push and push. It's making an off balance. Always talk with your body. That's why you can make a correct balance. Okay. For example, today's temperature and feeling and emotion is also whole control. And it's a very deep relationship with the body. Okay. You have to talk with the body, very catch a sensitive feeling, and step by step control the balance. Okay. This is an important point for making a process. Making a training menu. It catches a sensitive feeling from the inside of your body.
So what happens when your body tells you, I'm lazy, go back to bed?
of course, go back to bed. Go back to bed. Okay, but samurai technique is that any kind of the many kind of the technique. Okay, sometimes into the bed and just grip the sword and just stretching like this. Like this.
Oh.
This is also okay, and that's why always just touching the sword. This is very important point. Just making a relationship. Okay, if we want to against the feeling, don't touch too much. Okay, just feather touching and just stretch. That's it. This is how to make a good relationship with a sword. Always gripping a string and swinging and swinging and swinging. It's a not good relationship. It's like, I love you too much. I love so much. I love so much. It just make a long distance, okay? Little bit make a good relationship with like a feather touch. This is making a good balance, okay? Yes, and this is how to control the relationship, okay? Don't using a muscle, okay? Just always feather touch, okay? This relationship is very important for with a sword. It's also and relationship is also.
Wow. Oh man, I'm still processing a lot of this, but like it's fantastic. It's amazing stuff. I think that's all the questions I had. We're going on 45 minutes. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
Okay, and yeah, I'm so glad to this interview, and you are training and very good concentrate and very interesting about deeply. This is very deep meaning, and you interesting about samurai culture. And thank you very much, and Ron-san, I'm so appreciate. And one thing is that okay, this samurai technique is that it's not my method. It's not my method. Okay? This method is from the 400 years ago and 500 years ago, real samurai and ninja people's method. Okay, I'm just bridge. Okay, Ron-san and to the real samurai people, I'm just bridge. Yeah, I'm so happy to become a bridge. Okay, yeah, this feeling is very important for me because I have one memory. My memory is that maybe 7 years ago or 6 years ago around. Okay, I have a dojo in Tokyo. Okay, and one day, one American guy came to my dojo. He was maybe 26 years old around, young guy. But before training day, his father called me. And my son, and tomorrow, my son goes to going to go your dojo. But my son is that there's a mental problem. Is it possible for you? And I said, of course, okay. And he came to the dojo. Next day, he came to the dojo, and he have a little bit of mental problem because he cannot communicate others. But his knowledge is so many about the Bruce Lee and about the knights, about the samurai technique, about the Shaolin technique and boxing or something. Very, very knowledge and just talking anytime, talking, and many kind of knowledge. And we cannot communicate. But I started the samurai technique, okay? And there is a samurai technique that making a sympathize. It's a 400 years ago. It's a very traditional samurai technique. It's a first is that okay? Shake hands each other, okay? Shake hands each other, and making an image. You are connecting feeling. It's like a chi. Chi is connecting, and go making a long distance. And the next is that with a sword is a connecting, and keep connecting feeling and cut each other like this. Cut each other. Okay, like very simple exercise. Okay, suddenly he stops the talking, and he looks my eyes and connect to my movement. Okay, and last time he bowed to each other. Okay, and very secretly and keep silent mind, and it's a training is finished. Okay, I was surprised. Okay, and also his father is surprised also because his father came to the dojo and just he's not anything, not speaking, but he was crying. Okay, it's an answer. Okay, because the 26 years old guy is that, okay, how can I say, maybe just 30 minutes we doing a training, just 30 minutes, but the 30 minutes is everything is changed, seems like everything changed, okay? And but this technique is that from 400 years ago, it's a samurai technique from the samurai people, okay? But he is a 26 years old American modern generation guy. It's a connecting, perfect, I think perfectly connecting, okay? It's my meaning, okay? That's why I decided, okay, I have to connect them doing the teaching for samurai training for in the modern generation. Yeah, this is very big meaning for teaching. It's my meaning.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to cut it there. Thank you very much, Sensei. I will put links to everything that we talk about.
Very much. And yeah. Yes. And one thing, I have a question for you. Is it okay for you?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Why you interested about samurai culture?
Oh man. It helped empower me. And so like that's why I'm such a proponent of martial arts, any martial arts, but particularly this. Like there's something about a sword that and connecting with that's just on a very deep level. It's always been there. There's always been a desire to learn swordsmanship, mostly since Star Wars. Yeah. Do you have any other questions?
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The story. Yeah. Thank you very much. And can I see? Can I hear me correctly?
Yeah.
It's okay. Oh, okay. Yes. Sometimes this way, this side is disconnected, and I cannot see a movie. Okay.
Oh,
and,
give me
yes,
1 sec.
it's enough. It's a very good interview. Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to end it there. Thank you very much.